Welcome to Doug in Exile. Shout out to the Quad Club. That is to the audience members that watch all 3 videos that we post every day, though we call them 4 videos. It's my non-Euclidean geometry. Welcome to Doug in Exile. We're here to call out the fraud that is Gavin Newsom. He was on Joe Rogan. And look, Gavin Newsom's a joke, and he's running against Kamala Harris. That is also a joke. This is quite a horse race. And in Kamala Harris's case, it is a literal horse race. Here's Gavin Newsom. Actually, it's a news article on Gavin Newsom going on Joe Rogan.
Well, you start with Joe Rogan. So I'm going to start cursing.
He wants to be president so bad.
The governor of the most populous state and the host of one of the most popular podcasts are feuding.
This is Gavin Newsom.
California Governor Gavin Newsom, who hosts his own podcast, has invited Joe Rogan onto his show and publicly asked to be invited onto Rogan's show.
Okay. Gavin Newsom, his podcast has about 3 viewers, and Joe Rogan is one of the most popular podcasts in the world. Why in the world? So Gavin Newsom's acting like this is on equal ground. And look at this posture. Enough said. I think that is the posture of Gavin Newsom when he's in the bathhouse. Not that I'd know.
Joe, why won't you have me on the show?
Rogan, why won't you have me on the show? Oh, you're such a badass, Gavin. You're so strong. You know, I think because Trump went on Rogan or Elon Musk went on Rogan, ended up really changing the trajectory of them, that Gavin Newsom's going like, please, look, Joe Rogan would devour you on his show because you're a liar.
It's a one way, and he has guests coming and attacking and bashing, but he will not have me on the show, period. Full stop. He should have me on the show. Come on my show, Joe.
I think I'll probably vote for Bernie.
Rogan expressing support for Bernie Sanders' presidential run in 2020.
It's stand-up. It's funny stuff.
And backed President Trump in 2024, though he's criticized some of his policies in recent months.
What we're experiencing...
Right. They don't get specific on which policies Joe Rogan criticized of Trump, which will tell you everything you need to know about this CNN piece. They're not telling you the truth that Joe Rogan's a huge Trump fan, sits with him at all the UFC events, and he despises Gavin Newsom because Gavin Newsom is a reptile who just shed his skin. But let's take a quick break from the reptile farm that is Gavin Newsom and check out our show's sponsor, Chapter. Medicare annual enrollment is right now, and I'll bet you'd like some help navigating the world of Medicare because it's so confusing. I have bad news for you. Chapter's phones are clogged up with my giant audience calling in. You fell asleep at the wheel. You're the late bird trying to get the worm. I tried to warn you, but you didn't believe me. But don't despair, my little chitlins. Chapter isn't some fly-by-night company like the other people trying to hook you up with plans that are wrong for you but make them the most money. My audience aren't a bunch of dumb suckers. You can all get in line, and Chapter will thoroughly, patiently treat you like a human being when you call. They take your number down, and they'll call you back just as soon as possible. You got to be a little patient now, because remember, you're the one that waited this long. Here in Exile, we have just one name we trust to navigate the stormy seas of Medicare coverage, and that's Chapter. Call 631-961-8696. That number is the first pinned comment, 631-961-8696, and tell them Doug in Exile sent you. Okay, and now back to our show. Here's the rest of that Gavin Newsom thing.
Is America in reverse.
But Rogan doesn't seem impressed by a potential Newsom presidential run in 2028.
You can't ruin a city and then go on to ruin a state and say, guys, that was just practice.
I know.
Once I get it as a president, I'm going to fix it.
Now, this is why Gavin Newsom's going to have a hard time against a J.D. Vance. It's Gavin Newsom versus Kamala Harris. But from what I understand, the donors do not want Kamala Harris. Like, she's going to have a hard time raising money because she has that stink of loss on her. And the fear is that her stupidity and badness is much bigger than we thought. So Gavin Newsom, he's a lot of things, but the donors don't go, I won't give him money. They're not at that point yet, even though he's the Antichrist. They probably, in fact, Democrat donors want to put the Antichrist and bring him to fruition faster.
Fix it all.
I mean, it's so crazy, but he's such a great politician. I mean,
No,
he's
not.
so smooth.
He's
You
not,
don't think
though.
so?
No, I think he's terrible.
He's terrible. And that's why that quote made it on the thumbnail. Because when Joe Rogan says he's terrible, Your career, your political career is almost over. Joe Rogan's penetration, he has a lot of Democrats in his audience. And he just very casual said, no, he's terrible. And you know what? Gavin Newsom really is terrible. He does not have solid policies. He does not have convictions. He does not have a platform. All of the Democrats, the only thing they can come up with, and you guys already hear it all the time, and you hear it from your liberal friends, it's just we hate Trump. It's just Trump bad. Orange man bad. It is a religious response. It is a faith-based response. There's no substance to it because they can't say, here is the A game that we're running against him. Here's our positive vision of the future. Trump bad. That is not something positive to rally people around.
Rogan attacking Newsom's job performance in California.
You have the highest unemployment.
Yeah.
You have the highest homelessness.
Look at it with Hollywood. You
Money's missing. You killed Hollywood. Like Hollywood doesn't exist anymore.
He even killed Democrat institutions. Gavin did. He has to distance himself from his California record, especially that bullet train to nowhere that was funded, squandered the money, $100 billion, nothing to show for it. And he's going to say he's some kind of a builder. Now, J.D. Vance, it's not like he's built a building, but even J.D. Vance, you'd give him a shot at it before you'd give it to Gavin Newsom, who has a terrible, wrong record on that. For those of you who have Democrat friends and family, I have Democrat friends and I have Democrat family, cousins and aunts and stuff like that. Are they so dumb and amoral that they would vote for Gavin Newsom? I can see why they couldn't stomach voting for Trump because they're in a cult. As a cult member, would they be attracted to Gavin Newsom and vote for him? I think some of my Democrat relatives and friends are so wrapped up in a cult that they might just vote for him, not because they like him, but because they're so hysterical about Trump. They believe a lie so much about him. I'm talking about a cultural thing that's happening, not logic or reason.
It's literally gone.
Newsom responding to Rogan on X, posting California is the fourth largest economy in the world, but number one in manufacturing, farming, new business starts, tech and VC investments, Fortune 500 companies, public higher education.
Now, who did that, Gavin? Was that you? Is it you that makes California one of the largest economies in the world? Probably number fourth, number three is probably New York. Is that because Democrats are in charge of New York? Is that what brought? It's like looking at China, which is a communist empire, but I think it's the number fifth economy in the whole world. Is that because of communism? His ideology, taking credit. It's like Gavin taking credit for the beauty of California when he burned down the Palisades. Are you going to take credit for the beauty of the mountains and the wonderful oceans and landscapes? Is that your doing? Or did not God do that? Maybe Gavin thinks he's God, probably. He's a self-made man who worships his creator.
I could continue. Invite me on anytime, Joe Rogan.
It was all that before you were there. It was all that forever. It's because the weather's perfect, man. It has nothing to do with you.
Newsom's team posting this photo on X, writing that, quote, little Joe is snack size because he can't handle full-size debates.
I'm not afraid to go. I'm punching Joe Rogan, okay? That son of a bitch not used to that.
He called him a son of a bee. I'd like to see you do that in the room with him, because Joe Rogan would put you in the iron cross. He would do a pile driver on you and pound your face in the cement.
And he's going to dismiss it. He's going to laugh it off. I mean,
he's going to I wish someone would just mess up your hair. If they touched it, like the shell would shatter, your hair would shatter.
Tough guy, all that. But he's going to have me on. Here's a guy who celebrated Bidenomics just this week.
Newsom debated Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Fox News in 2023.
You are making a damn dent.
And hosted conservative guests like Charlie Kirk on his own podcast.
I'm debating these sons of bitches.
Okay, there he goes with the sons of bitches again. Do you mean Charlie Kirk? Gavin, you going to run on that? This guy's a creep. He just creeps me out. I think he's a clown. I think he's near invisible because he has no values. I would say he's harmless, other than I know that Democrats are satanic and Marxist. And when he gets in, even if he's just an empty suit, just trying to bang his campaign manager again, have an affair and bang his campaign manager again. The evil that he would allow would be fantastic. It would be a California-sized disaster across the entire United States of things getting broken.
I'm out there on these right-wing shows, so I'm not scared to do that. Where the hell is the Democratic Party? Where's our equivalent of Turning Point USA?
Newsom's team doubled down, repeating the snack size slap on X. Joe Rogan is a snack size podcaster who can't stop talking about me. Obsessed? Crush? No, thank you, but is too scared to have me on and let his audience hear the truth.
He's talking some shit on Twitter.
I know, it's like, you think that's going to work? Like, that's so stupid. Like, this is such a bad look. It's such a bad choice.
There's a little desperation in it.
But it's just stupid. It's like, this is a bad strategy. Like,
The other thing is, Joe Rogan's a stand-up comic. So the tiny content that Gavin Newsom's trying to throw out against him by calling him Little Joe Rogan, it doesn't work on a comedian. Like, Joe Rogan could do a 1-hour set about Gavin Newsom, and he kind of peed off the wrong guy.
probably would have had him on.
Yeah.
But now I'm like,
He would have had him on. So here goes. Gavin Newsom needs to go on Joe Rogan to launch his career in politics. Joe Rogan would have had Gavin Newsom on. Do you know why Gavin Newsom is not going to be on Joe Rogan? Tell me, chat. It's because of Joe Rogan, because he's an a-hole. He's not going to have him on. So now you just destroyed your own career just by being you. And I believe that's the political trajectory of Gavin Newsom. I think it's the same thing with Kamala Harris. The reason why her career is just demolished is because she's just being herself. She really is that donkey laugh jackass in a woman's body. Karine Jean-Pierre, your career is done because you're authentically you, and you're really bad, and you really are an empty head.
what are you doing?
There is a fun version where you just do it and cook them.
He'll cook himself.
Governor Newsom has repeatedly said that Democrats need to do a much better job attracting men, especially young men who are often drawn to podcasts. And Aaron,
Why is Gavin Newsom attracting young men, I want to know? Because I don't think he's ever been appealing to any young men outside of a bathhouse.
nobody does that better than Joe Rogan. His interview with then candidate Trump last year got 60 million views on YouTube alone.
Wow, that is pretty incredible.
Yeah, pretty incredible. Thank you, CNN, for giving the stats. This is the New York Post. Gavin Newsom is part of a disgusting new trend, privileged people inventing porridge-in stories. That's a flip on the word origin stories, but they're trying to say that they grew up poor. Poor Gavin Newsom. So working class. Gavin Newsom raised himself on the mean streets of Marin County. Quote, he was also about paying the bills, man. He recently told former NBA stars Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes on this popular All the Smoke podcast. It was just like hustling. And so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV, just getting obsessed. I was sitting there with the Wonder Bread and the macaroni and cheese, unquote. He said this to two professional basketball players. You're so street, Gavin. Listening to Biggie D. Are you a Crip or a Blood, Gavin? Like Steve Martin and the Jerk, Newsom apparently started out as a poor black child. Even Jackson laughed, saying it sounded like his own biography. But it's a fabricated porridge-in story for the ages. Newsom left out a few key details in the portrayal of himself as a downtrodden latchkey kid who used sports to overcome his learning disability. Everyone's got to have I'm dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. That's why I look like a poster boy for the Aryan Nation. Details in the portrayal of himself as a downtrodden latchkey kid who used sports to overcome his learning disability. He does have a learning disability. He's a Democrat. And go from stacks of Wonder Bread to the French Laundry. Remember that one where everyone was in lockdown? Everyone had to wear masks, using the French Laundry, eating these, $100 a plate meals. The 58-year-old comes from a prominent Bay Area family. His father was a judge and an attorney. Sure, his parents were divorced, and I do feel bad for any kid, who's from a divorced family. And he was mostly raised by his mother, Tessa, I'll say, if you know what I mean. She, like many people in America, worked more than one job to keep him in that Marin County house. But unlike most kids, Newsom was close to the nexus of power early on. He was mentored by political kingmaker Willie Brown. Now, that's what's so weird is he and Kamala Harris both, Kamala Harris through slightly different means, as far as I know. Maybe they use the same means, but they both worked through Willie Brown. Both his professional and political ambitions were financed by the Getty oil dynasty due to the Getty Museum there in Hollywood. Kingmaker, okay, Getty Oil Dynasty, and his dad managed the billionaire's family trust. Okay, how many of you, this is so disgusting to me. These lies are just really bad. Wait, more lies.
There is, I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to get in trouble here, but there tends to be a little bit of bias at times.
A lot of bias.
All right, thank you. And so it's nice to try to rebalance that, particularly in a state where the future is happening first. And I say that with a point of pride. It's pretty obvious in AI and quantum and fusion and so many different areas.
Quantum and AI, quantum and fusion and other smart words, particle accelerator, 0-point energy, string theory. He's just running off all these smart words that make you really sound dumb. How about that? Here he is on the founding fathers. Oh, my Lord.
Why aren't we standing up to principle? Why aren't we standing up? The founding fathers didn't live and die to see us as cowards. The richest, the most powerful people in this country selling their soul.
Who are you talking about, Gavin? Is that an admission?
Selling out this country?
Selling out this
I mean, that's how I feel. So yeah, forgive me. I'm sorry if people's feelings are hurt about this. I'm disgusted what's happened in this country.
My feelings aren't hurt. You're disgusted and I'm laughing. Look at, there's the double point. He's disgusted at the rich. This is my favorite response from Mathena Stevens, PhD, says the guy who purchased a $9 million home. There's just one of his $9 million mansions in a posh Marin town, just like the one he was raised in, guys. Poor Gavin. Gavin, tough street upbringing. It was hard on the streets, baby. And on that happy note, we got more news to come, guys. I do want to follow the presidential election that's coming in 2028. We're going to start by dismantling Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg. Not Pete Buttigieg, although he might run too. Another faker. We're looking good with JD Vance. Is doing great. But we're going to follow the presidential politics. I hope you guys subscribe and join us. And of course, call that chapter number down, link down in the description. I'm Doug in Exile.